What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Virtual's protocol today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, okay? Virtual's is sitting at about $1.2 billion in market cap right now on this, the 25th day of May. Here we are, 8 hours, 20 minutes left at $1.87, okay? I like Virtual's. I think it's going to do very well for itself, but I want to set the bar straight here, okay? You have done phenomenal. Since April 7th, from the low that the market experienced, you grew 440% almost. You're still up 350% from your low. The average altcoin's up 50% from its low. You're dominating the game. You're doing great. You're going to see new all-time highs. You're going to continue to grow. You're at $1.87 now. It would not surprise me if by the end of the cycle, Virtuals was worth $100 or more. It wouldn't surprise me. But if you're in crypto, you're probably looking to make the most money that you can, right? You want to buy something that's been outperforming the markets and will continue to outperform the markets. Well, Virtuals will definitely be that coin, but is it going to be the best performing coin of the cycle from here on out? Probably not. And the reason why is because you're already at a $1.2 billion market cap. Now you're going to I would expect you to outperform the average altcoin, but are you going to be the shining star for the rest of the market? Probably not. This insane pump, I wouldn't say it was a one-off so much. I would just say don't expect this to happen for the rest of the year. You're not going to be worth hundreds of dollars by the end of the year, right? I don't know if there's any crazy bull cases for Virtuals, but you're probably not going to see anything. I would think you wouldn't see anything above probably like 150. Maybe 100 to 150. I don't know what the insane bull cases are. There might be people out there who are saying Virtuals will reach $1,000 by the end of the cycle. None of that stuff's going to happen, and here's why. The average altcoin, in fact, every single altcoin, including Bitcoin, other than XRP and Ethereum, none of them have seen market caps that are above $100 billion in their first bull market. To get to $100 billion from here, you'd have to see about, what would that be, an 80x? Is that right? No. A little bit more than an 80x, probably. A little bit less than a 90x, but still, there are plenty of cryptos out there that have 100x potential or more even right now. So will this be a shining star? Will it be the most best performing crypto between now and the end of the cycle? No, but it is going to do well. It is definitely going to do well. I think that Virtuals can be worth tens of billions of dollars in market cap, maybe even as high as like $70 billion in market cap, but typically the average altcoin does not get above $100 billion in its first bull cycle. So that limits you. And typically it's not even $100 billion, it's more like $80 billion. And even that from here, that's a pretty far stretch, right? It'd be about a 70x from here to get to about an $80 billion market cap, if my math is somewhat accurate. Something around a 70x, something like that, right? Virtuals here at $1.87, that still gives you a lot of room to run. But just again, if you're somebody who thinks you're buying a low cap coin, a crypto gem, something that could turn $1,000 into $1 million, that's not this coin. Okay, that's not this coin, and that's fine. It doesn't have to be. This is the kind of coin that you could feel safe investing in. You could put a lot of money in this coin. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. You could put a lot of money in this coin, and it could still do phenomenal for you. The average altcoin I'm anticipating will do something on the lines of like a 25 to a 30x between now and the end of the year. I expect the average altcoin to do this. I would think Virtuals outperforms the average altcoin. And we probably see something that is on the lines of either a 70x, if not there, maybe you stop at about a 30x, I guess. I don't know. 32x. That would still outperform the average coin. But see, this is where the dilemma goes for me, is that I could genuinely see Virtual stopping at $47 to $62. That's a viable option, and with that, you'd be performing on par with the rest of the markets, which means you outdid the markets here. You shined, you led by example here, but now you're just going to follow suit and perform on average with the rest of the markets for the rest of the cycle, something like that, right? If you don't stop there, the only issue I have is that would imply that you're going up to $124. But with the 2272, it's very common to not stop right at this line, but to go just above it. And if you're going just above it, that would basically give Virtuals a 70x, which would put you at an $80 billion market cap, which, to be fair, is like the limitations of what I could foresee happening for any altcoin in their first bull market. You're basically there. So maybe you do then, maybe you do break through $100, you see something around $140 to $120, something like that, and that's the end of the cycle prediction. I mean, that to me makes the most sense. I have a hard time seeing you stop at 62 to 47, but I accept that as a minimum target. I have a hard time seeing you get above here, and that is your maximum target. It's really possible to stop somewhere between the 2272 and the 200 line here, this top purple line. It's possible to stop somewhere in this black zone, but it's not common. Oftentimes, it's like you either stop here or you stop here. It's one of the two. but I suppose anything's possible. Maybe you stop right at that psychological level of $100 itself. Maybe that stops you right there, and I couldn't blame you for that. And at that would still give you like a 50x move from here, which is still phenomenal, still outperforming the average coins. Which to me, all these prices, $100, $140 in between that area, that makes a lot more sense to me looking at virtuals than 62 to 47 does. Because again, I don't think that a top performing coin now is going to perform on average with the rest of the market. The average expectation for the rest of the market is a 25 to a 30x, and that's exactly what this would be. So that's a good minimum, but you're probably going to go above that by the end of the cycle. If we're looking at this on a weekly RSI basis, weekly RSI looks phenomenal. You might see a little bit of a pullback from here. What's great about this, and not financial advice, I probably should have started with this part, but I like to talk about the upside more than I like to talk about the downside. As much growth as this will be, or potentially even up to here, you'll see like a 65, 70x, whatever, above $100, as much growth as that will be. It wouldn't surprise me if we pulled back from here and gave people an opportunity to buy at lower prices, right? The 0.5 is a good expectation in my opinion, and that would turn that 60x, 70x, whatever, it turns it into almost a 90x. So virtuals, there is still a situation where you could 100x your money with virtuals if it sees a significant pullback from here, and I think that it might. Let's go over that real quick. So looking at the weekly RSI here, being at the overbought zone, kind of turning around right now. I wouldn't be surprised if you pulled back to like your 55, went down there, at least your 60, something like that. And that at the very least implies a little bit lower to go on a weekly basis. If you're going to go lower here, that implies you're at a significant stopping point. Let's just see high to low here. You're right at your golden ratio, significant stopping point indeed. It's very common from here to go back to your 0.5, find support, or your 382 and find support, or somewhere in the area. Most commonly, it's in the area. It's not like one line or the other, but sometimes it is specifically at those lines. In a strong move, specifically a strong move, which this is a strong move, you would look to find support at the 0.5. And I think that's what's going to happen. Think about it like this, right? Looking at this here, you've got this kind of trend line coming up. You found immaculate support here. You found somewhat decent support here, and now you're not finding any support. What's going to happen? You're going to break through. People are going to think, oh no, virtuals is broken. It's time to get out. This thing's going to zero because it broke out of its uptrend. No, it didn't break out of its uptrend. It's actually setting up a higher low right there, and then it's going to rip. So I very much do believe that virtuals is going to go down to about $1.46. You're at $1.87 now, so that is quite a little drop. Daily RSI looks bearish enough. Yeah, if you were to go higher, man, you would have done it on this last attempt. You didn't do it though. You didn't because you couldn't, because you've moved up so much that you need to retrace. So my expectation would be from here, from $1.87 virtuals, you probably see a price that is 22% to 40% lower than where you are now, between $1.08 and $1.46. I wouldn't be surprised at all if you went below $1.46, but I would be very surprised. I'd actually be very surprised if you went anywhere near like $1.10, let alone below there. So probably you'll find support at the 0.5 or somewhere just below the 0.5, but nothing too crazy. I don't think normally I would have no problem calling for the 382. This is crypto. Things can get crazy. But overall, a high to a low, I mean, it's a 50%. It could happen. It could happen. But you got a big market cap, man. I don't know. I'm sticking with the idea that you probably find support around $1.40. You're at $1.87 now. You probably go down to $1.40 to $1.50 to find support. That's my expectation, okay? And it probably happens, I would expect that the end of the month, most cryptos are going to pump. We're going to get a rally, but I think virtuals might actually drop off because virtuals is on everybody's map now, right? Nobody talked about it back here. Some people talked about it. Ivan on Tech talked about it, but nobody really talked about it back here. And now that it's up, everybody's talking about it. Of course they're talking about it because you're number 65 now and you're one of the top performing coins in the space right now. Everyone's talking about it. But oftentimes once everybody starts talking about something, everybody gets the right idea to get into it, that provides a liquidity grab event. People panic sell, the smart money dumps on you, people panic sell, pushing the price down even further, and then the smart money buys back and then sends it up, leaving you wishing that you never sold or never dabbled in the first place. But looking at this on a daily time frame, I would expect you to go lower. 4-hour RSI looks bad. Looks like you want to go lower. 1-hour time frame suggests you might find support here. So you might go up. You're at $1.87 now. Wouldn't surprise me by the time most of you watch this, we're probably at higher prices, but I doubt you're anything above $2. And then you'll probably continue moving down after you get that little lower high. Maybe it's even higher than this high, but still lower high overall, whatever. But you'll probably move up going into the end of today, or at least over the next couple of hours, and then continue to move down over the days to come. That's my expectation. And then from there, over the weeks to come and stuff, it's gonna go up. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you liked the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And some main key takeaway points from this video is that virtuals is going to do well. If you want a coin that is quote unquote safe to invest in crypto, and that will do well for you by the end of the cycle. It's not just some random meme coin that you have to guess and pray and hope every night that it's going to do well. Virtuals will do well. I think it's going to do well. It's set up that narrative for itself. It's going to be one of those coins to watch for the rest of the cycle. It absolutely will. But as far as, is it going to be the top performing coin? Are you investing in a crypto gem that can turn $10,000 into $1 million, $1,000 into $1 million, anything like that? No, this isn't that coin, right? Those coins exist and they will happen. You're going to see those kind of crazy pumps happen, whatever coins they are. I don't know. Tell me, please. I wish I knew which coins they were. I've got my ideas, but maybe not. You never know. This coin will still work out very well. It's just I don't think it'll be as much of a shining star as it's been recently. I think that light will diminish over time. It'll probably perform on average with coins for a good bit, but just outperforming them a little bit, right? You're probably going to move more or less with the rest of the markets here or there. But I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you liked the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Bye-bye.